Today, I want to go over the Harris County District Court Family Court Rules, amended effective October 31st, 2003. It's on their website, so I guess it's still in effect. Let's go over it. This is another video brought to you by George Saldana, a Harris County Family Court veteran. And today we're going to talk about a violation of the local rules. Now, on February 29th, during a motion for new trial hearing, I requested a default judgment due to the absence of counsel. Counsel wasn't there. She didn't show up. It wasn't until 9:45 that I asked the judge, hey, may we have a default? Opposing counsel isn't here. We haven't heard anything from her. The judge then quickly dismissed my request and said, we would wait for you. She has just called and she'll be here within the hour. She was outside of that hour that was given to her by the judge. So I kind of want to go over that. However, Judge Dunson permitted Carolyn Robertson to neglect this requirement. And this is the requirement we're going to go over, resulting in a 2-hour delayed arrival to court without any preparation. Despite my timely presence to the court from San Antonio, the lack of respect shown by Robertson's late arrival reflects poorly on the integrity of this court. Now, I want to go over local rule number 3. Let's get into it. Today, I want to go over family court rules in the Harris County courts. Now, these are the Harris County courts. Now, you have to remember, you have your constitutional rights, your fundamental rights that are explained in your Bill of Rights, and then you have your laws in which the legislative branch legislates laws because we live in a democracy, and then you have the judicial branch, which is one of the 3 branches of government. A judge doesn't get to just decide whether or not they're going to violate you or not, right? They have to follow the rules that the legislator or the laws that the legislator have legislated. And so that's a problem that we're seeing in these Harris County family courts. They are not adhering to anything. They're just running wild. And this is why I kind of wanted to make this video. If you are in some sort of family court, you need to find the local rules. And Harris County has them on their website. It's at justtext.net/general-info/9. But I want to talk about one specific rule because it's pretty blatantly obvious what happened. And it's the story that I'm going to tell is that even Judge Dunson out of the 309th will not adhere to the local rules. And amended effective October 31st, 2003. So on Halloween of 2003, which has been over 20 years that they amended this, what's the objective? The purpose of the rules: obtaining a just, fair, and impartial adjudication of all the parties and the children's rights is the purpose of these rules. And I really want to go over 3.3, docket call procedures. So on February 29th, 2024, I arrived to the Harris County 309th District Court. I was on time. Our hearing was supposed to start at 9, docket entry. If you're there, if you're there. If you're not, you're not. That's where we start calling roll call or attendance, right? Who's here and who's not. And I've been to many proceedings. I've always been on time. I leave San Antonio with enough time to get to court, right? It's a 3.5-hour trip for myself and my mom, who usually comes with me. And I had seen this and I brought it up to the judge, and the judge didn't follow this rule. So I want to read it to you, and I want you to tell me whether I'm wrong or not. Attorneys and pro se litigants who do not expect to be on time or present in the courtroom during docket call must notify the court and the opposing side to this fact. 3.3.2. Attorneys and pro se litigants who will be late for docket call must give the court and opposing side notice of their estimated time of arrival at court and the reason for the delay. So again, on the 29th, there was no communication from Carolyn Robertson. I showed up on time. The judge actually stuck up for the judge, and that's where the bias comes in, right? Because if you go back to objective purpose of the rules, obtaining a just, fair, and impartial adjudication of the parties and the children's rights in the purpose of these rules, I wasn't treated fairly. The rules are here. They're on her website, and nobody follows the rules. So if they don't follow the rules, they don't follow the laws, they don't follow the Constitution, how do you expect to get a fair trial in Harris County? So it says attorneys and pro se parties, myself, I'm a pro se party, who will be late for docket call must give the court an opposing side notice of their estimated time of arrival at a court. I asked for a default judgment on the 29th and I was denied. I was told she'll be here in an hour. I told the judge it's a disrespect to not just the court, but to myself. I leave San Antonio. I get here on time to Houston, and this person lives in Houston and can't even get to court on time. Now, she did say she was coming from another court. Some of y'all saw the video that I did right after the motion for new trial. I stated in there that she came in with 3 envelopes. She wasn't prepared. If she was coming from another court, she sure as hell didn't look like it because she only had 3 busted up envelopes. She didn't have a case file. She didn't have a folder, an envelope, a laptop, or a rolling bag. All she had in her hands was 3 envelopes, which makes me believe that she didn't come from court. She was late. She forgot about the hearing. The judge took up for her again, but we have seen this. We have seen where the judiciary is just now flagrantly violating pro se rights. Whether they're right or wrong, we're not going to let you win because we're not going to follow our rules. We're not going to follow the laws or the Constitution. So my advice to you, if you're watching this, always try to get your local rules, because if you can show a pattern or distinguish a pattern that the judge is not upholding the Constitution, the laws of this state, or the rules, then I think you have a better shot at recusing that judge, not only based on their rulings, but on the basis that they don't know their job. And how can somebody who's making decisions for a child just negate everything the legislator has legislated? It doesn't make sense. So I did send an email to the SCJC, to Molly May, who's the court coordinator, to Carolyn Robertson, and a investigative reporter. And it starts at, it has become increasingly evident that adherence to the local rules, judicial canons, legal codes is being disregarded, leading to a concerning lack of accountability. Despite the clear directives outlined in the Texas Family Code, Penal Code, Code of Criminal Procedure, Government Code, Civil Practice and Remedies Code, there is a blatant disregard for these regulations. If you have the opportunity to look up your court rules, you need to do it. You need to print them out and keep them with you. And it's kind of my fault because I didn't print them out. I didn't have them with me. Although I knew what was in them, I still hadn't processed to print it and bring it with me to court. And to close off this segment, let's run down this rabbit hole. So I'd like to just end it like this. justex.net/court/309, District Courts of Harris County. You have Judge Linda Dunson. You have a fairly recent picture of the 309th Family Court. You have their contact information. You have the bailiff that beat me up that nobody wants to talk about. And then you go to the very bottom under helpful links, and you're going to see full text of Texas Family Code and the Texas Constitution in all codes. The Texas Constitution, Article 5, Section, I want to go to 7 first and then 8. Ending on this note, the Texas Constitution, Article 5, Section 7. Read it. Judicial districts, district judges, terms or sessions, absence, disability, or disqualification of district judge. The state shall be divided into judicial districts. It doesn't say family court, district court judges are not judges. It says district court judges. Each district judge shall be elected by the qualified voters at a general election. Be a citizen of the United States and a resident of this state. Be licensed to practice law in the state and have been practicing lawyer or a judge of a court in the state, both combined for 8 years. So ignorance to the law isn't really an excuse for Judge Linda Dunson. It's It's right here. And if she doesn't know her job, if she doesn't know the local rules, she doesn't know the Constitution, she doesn't know the contents in which allow her to sit on that bench, the people of Harris County need to have her removed. She needs to step down. But this is a huge violation, not only to me, but to the child in which I'm able to protect, because I have the ability for care, control, and protection as per the Texas Family Code and my fundamental rights as per these constitutions. Let me know what you think in the comments below.